How does white hair form? The mechanism is actually like this. Once you hear it, everyone will understand. People start getting white hair from their 20s or 30s. Most people will experience this. Why do some people get it while others don't? But the rate of progression is generally like this. If you start getting white hair at 30, it will increase by about 20% every 10 years. That is to say, if you start getting white hair at 30, by the time you're 50, about 40% of your hair will be white. By 60, it could be about 60 to 70%. It increases by 20% every 10 years. This is the general growth rate of white hair. Some people experience it faster, some slower. Men might not care much. Personally, I don't mind. But some people need to maintain their appearance for work, so they might need to dye their hair or perm it, and so on. Firstly, let me clarify, I don't recommend using hair dyes with heavy chemical components. There are hair dyes on the market with more natural ingredients. In this episode, I'll share with everyone how to reverse or improve the condition of white hair. Of course, not everyone will succeed. Many people succeed, but there are also those who don't. Even if you need to dye your hair, switch to natural products. Never use chemical hair dyes again. So why does white hair grow? Hair grows from hair follicles. Hair follicles produce melanin. There are melanocytes within. Melanocytes produce melanin. Through two mechanisms, melanin is synthesized. Then it becomes melanin. The first is called tyrosine. The second is called dopa. Once these two are synthesized, the hair follicle can produce melanin. After synthesis, the melanocytes can inject melanin into the hair, making the hair black. This mechanism actually starts to break down after 30. Why? Everyone has unique growth factors. After 30, the whole person, not just the hair, because of genetic programming, to some extent, it's written that a person peaks at 30. Physical peak has passed, the body's state begins to decline. Why? The reality is that it can't program growth after 30. Continued growth after 30 is actually a disease called gigantism, where one grows very tall like a giant, the body keeps growing, not slowing down. That's gigantism. For normal people, after 30, all functions start to decline. Some parts won't grow anymore. For example, calcium production. As for hair, melanocyte production also stops due to damage from reactive oxygen species, and it stops producing melanin. There are two reasons for this. The first is hydrogen peroxide, H2O2. Everyone naturally produces hydrogen peroxide during the oxidation process. Hydrogen peroxide is also a necessary component for bleaching hair. When you want to dye your hair blonde or purple, hair naturally has melanin, so it can't be directly dyed purple. You have to bleach the black color first, then dye it another color. The main bleaching ingredient is hydrogen peroxide. In other words, hair dye contains hydrogen peroxide. Body cells are damaged by external reactive oxygen species, and reactive oxygen species will produce hydrogen peroxide in the hair. The body itself produces hydrogen peroxide, bleach. Before 30, the hydrogen peroxide in the body is inhibited by an enzyme. This enzyme is called catalase. As I mentioned earlier, for normal people after 30, all functions start to decline, including the production of the catalase enzyme. When this enzyme's level drops to a certain point, it can't inhibit hydrogen peroxide. Melanocytes in the hair are damaged by hydrogen peroxide, stopping the production of melanin. Once you understand this mechanism, it's simple. You just need to consider 2 points. 1. How to reduce hydrogen peroxide. 2. How to increase catalase enzyme. This way, hair can turn black again. How to do it? The best shampoo should have 2 ingredients. It can effectively increase the catalase enzyme and reduce hydrogen peroxide. The first ingredient is ashwagandha. The second is curcumin. If the shampoo contains these 2 ingredients, it can effectively increase catalase and reduce hydrogen peroxide. I found a purely natural shampoo online. It contains both ashwagandha and curcumin, along with many other herbs. When using the shampoo, it's best to massage for a few minutes. There's also a little trick, which is to wash your hair once first, then rinse. After that, apply the shampoo again, Massage for a few minutes before rinsing. Shampoo should be used twice. Washing just once might cause hair to fall out. Wash twice to remove oil from the hair follicles, improving breathability and oxygen absorption. Hair will be healthier, including preventing hair loss and turning white hair black. You must wash twice. Massage and rinse clean. This is the secret to hair care. Of course, you must use a shampoo with more natural ingredients. Never use a shampoo with high chemical content. How to tell? It's simple. Look at the ingredients list on the back. If most of the ingredients are hard to pronounce, it means it's high in chemicals. Ingredient names that are long and hard to understand are generally chemicals. Remember to choose shampoos with high natural ingredients. Another substance beneficial for hair is methionine. It's an oral nutritional supplement. Its function is also to inhibit the catalase enzyme and reduce hydrogen peroxide. Taking 500 mg daily, after a month or so, black hair might start growing back, turning white hair black. The third beneficial thing is black sesame. It's best to eat half a tablespoon daily, or about 2 teaspoons. When to eat? Best near bedtime. But some people's stomachs might not handle it well. Black sesame nourishes the kidneys. Traditional Chinese medicine says there are a few foods good for black hair. One is he shou wu, the other is black sesame. But processing he shou wu is more troublesome. Black sesame is more convenient and nutritious. But there's one thing to note when eating black sesame. If you have a bad stomach, actually, whether it's good or bad, you should crush it a bit with a spoon before eating. Otherwise, the whole sesame might pass through the body undigested, not absorbing the necessary nutrients. So try to crush it a bit before eating, making it easier for the body to absorb. Sesame is hard to digest. Don't swallow it with water. Even if you have a strong stomach, you should chew it before swallowing. If you have a grinder, it's even better to grind it up and take 1 or 2 spoons each night. Combined with the methionine and shampoo mentioned earlier, you should see results in 1 or 2 months, with the roots of white hair starting to turn black. It's not hard to achieve. Of course, it's not 100% guaranteed success. There are cases of failure. Those people might be under too much stress, smoke or drink excessively, or have poor nutrition, and other reasons, which are more complex. Otherwise, for most people, these methods will show improvement. Even if not all hair turns black, at least it won't continue to deteriorate. This episode shared 3 tips for black hair. If you have any questions, you can leave a message for me. If you like my video, please subscribe at the bottom right, give a thumbs up and click the bell. And share it with friends who have a lot of white hair. That's it for this episode. See you next time. Bye bye.